Oh, dude, nice. Oh my god. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Gaming Memories. I'm your host, Michael, and this is my co-host,
Jessica.
Today we're going to be talking about the only thing that makes sense for the first episode of Gaming Memories, which is our first Gaming Memories. I'm going to be sharing two, Jessica's going to be sharing two, and then we're going to be sharing some of yours.
I'll go with the smallest memory first. I have this distinct memory of my Game Boy Color.
What color was it?
Green. Well, we had two. We had a green one and a pink one, and I kind of switched them out.
I had a purple one.
But I remember I was really young. I was young enough to sit in the little seat in a grocery cart while we were grocery shopping in Kroger's.
Sponsor.
Sponsor. I would play... It was a Barbie game. But it was really cool.
What was it about?
It was a scuba Barbie game where she would like go under the sea and you could interact with a coral reef and like there were dolphins and like fish and they would like react to you swimming around them and there were a bunch of puzzles.
What would that be called nowadays though? It would be like Barbie's limited time frame coral reef adventure to swim around and look at all the dead coral.
But anyways, it was a really good game. I enjoyed it. I have a lot of nostalgia. It was one of those games where like there weren't saves.
Oh yeah.
They would give you codes and I would like scribble them down so frantically. Mom, I need a pen! And I would like write it on my hand because I'd be in the freaking grocery store sitting in the cart trying to play this game and I'm like, if I accidentally turn this off, I'm gonna lose it all. What about you?
My first memory would have to be, I think this is actually my very first memory. I was at my grandma's house and for some reason I remember that the TV was either on the floor or it was stacked on top of like a crate, which didn't make much sense because...
You didn't have the classic TV on top of the TV?
No, it hadn't gotten that far. It was actually one of those like giant... It's raining. But it wasn't that bad yet, but it was one of those TVs that was just like 100 pounds but like 13 inches. And I can't remember if it was a Colecovision or Atari, but all I remember is I was laying down on the floor playing it. You were like an 8-bit or probably not even 8-bit, I don't remember, like prisoner. I think it was orange. Or maybe with white with black stripes, but it was like this big, so who cares? But the whole point of it was, I think that you were trying to break out of like the prison. You had to jump up on these blocks to try and get further and further away, and the further away you got, the more that like the warden dude would be chasing after you and also jumping up on blocks. But I can never find the name of the game because like Prison Break or Blockbuster or whatever, you know, isn't going to come up with what I'm looking for. But for some reason that sticks to in my mind. And no one else was around, so I don't know where the hell anyone else was, but I was there by myself. And for some reason it has baked itself right about here.
Well, they tend to do that. I mean, vivid memories of scuba diving as Barbie. This one's a little bit more deep. It kind of rolls into how I am today. We had a Nintendo 64. It was one of those really, really cool ones that was like green and you could see all the like parts inside of it.
Oh yeah, those were really cool.
So we had like a matching controller and then we had a solid black controller.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to get in arguments with my sister over which controller was cooler because, you know, she was all goth, so the black one was cool. But my mom every night would sit down on the floor in front of the TV, which it was one of those like big old like wooden box TVs where it had like the little buttons and like 4 dials just so you can like mess with the contrast and stuff like that. And the back of it was like all open and all cords. She would sit on the floor in front of the little love seat we had in the room and she would play games for hours. And I was really young and I would just lay down on the love seat, an old antique love seat that my grandma had for literally ever. I just remember laying there and watching her play like Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-tooie and Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, and I can never remember the name of it, but it's the Donkey Kong game where You can play as all the family members.
Isn't it like Donkey Kong 64?
Something like that.
I
But I
totally
loved
the name
that.
of it.
I loved all of that. And I would literally watch her all night until I fell asleep. And we would stay up until like 1 or 2 in the morning on the weekends just playing, like watching her play the games.
I had to go to Best Buy to pick out my first console that I actually got to own because my parents owned an NES and an SNES, but this was the first time that I actually got to choose my own. And it was up to me to decide whether or not I wanted a PlayStation or a Nintendo 64. For some reason, Jessica already knows where this story goes. I chose PlayStation, and I don't regret it at all. I don't. For the longest time, I was a PlayStation fanboy, and I was proud of it. It's what made me who I am today. Metal Gear, Twisted Metal, Siphon Filter. That's it. Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Spyro. I just keep coming up with more of them. Let's see if I can keep... Croc. Yeah, my dad was there, and I don't remember why my mom wasn't, but it was probably just because she was working or something, and he left it up to me, and it was like the first major decision I ever had to make in my life is which one I'd get. And I got the right one, obviously. But I would always play Nintendo 64 at everyone else's houses, so I never felt like I missed out. Because I played Turok and GoldenEye and all the platformers on their consoles, and then I got to go home and actually play good games.
They're good games.
I don't care. I'm a PC gamer. I don't give a shit.
Well, that's true. That's true. But not at first.
Well. Most of these come from our good friends over at our Steam group, .shoebox. Make sure to search it, join it, and follow the curator section. The first one comes from Justin, a fabulous kisser. Super Mario RPG for the SNES. It's what got me into JRPGs, and I still play a lot of them to this day. The presentation was really cool. It was a nice Squaresoft twist on the typical Mario games everyone had played up until that point. You got to have Bowser as a party member instead of a bad guy. The new characters like Geno, and Mallow. I've never played this.
Neither have
I always wanted to.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm just gonna butcher names. New characters like Geno and Mallow were really creative. The music was great too. I dare anyone to play it and not get the Forest Maze theme stuck in their head. Overall, just a really awesome game and my first real gaming memory. Our dearest friend and my lover, Connor, and he said to me, he reached out to me with this answer. I do, yeah, implying he had an answer. My dad got me a Sega Genesis when I was like 3. Lol. And I was amazed by how short of an answer that was and how deep it touched me. After a little bit, he also happened to reach out to Jessica with a much better answer.
My first gaming memory was getting a Sega Genesis for my 3rd birthday and playing Sonic Spinball and Sonic the Hedgehog. While I never played any of the other Mega Drive classics, these 2 games helped pave the way for my love of platformers for years to come. And then he also added that's 260 characters.
Well, I mean, it's kind of dirty that his first memory was Sega. That's very unfortunate, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there.
I love how he had the Sega Genesis, but he only had 2 games.
I haven't had a chance to play the other Mega Drive classics.
I only played Sonic Pinball and Sonic the Hedgehog. Nothing else.
Wait, was it Sonic Pinball or was it Sonic Spinball?
Oh, I think it might have been Spinball.
I think it was Spinball, which I think was a great opportunity, and they nailed it.
We got another answer from our good friend.
We keep calling them all our good friends.
They're all our good friends.
We just got another answer from our arch enemy, Bet.
Probably my first real memory of playing video games was on the N64. Donkey Kong 64 to be exact. Sitting around with my dad, passing the controller back and forth and yelling 10-year-old insults at the damn Beetle. Long before the internet and walkthroughs, it was kind of a family thing.
You know, everyone seems to have those memories of, like, childhood, passing the controller back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Memories of it. I have memories of my aunt playing Donkey Kong Country with me, but she would always stop when it would start raining and lightning because she was afraid she'd have a seizure. So...
One more memory that we received from my friend Julia. She wrote to us. Playing Super Mario Bros. On the SNES with my dad and sis. Also playing Final Fantasy IV. It was 2 in the US. It was 4 in Japan. Had no clue what I was doing with that game at age 5, but I liked it. I didn't start playing Final Fantasy until 10.
Really?
Yeah, well, how was I supposed to? I didn't have a PlayStation 2 until
Final
I was...
Fantasy was Nintendo exclusive up until 7, I want to say.
Well,
Let's
I
see.
was poor. Thank you for joining us.
We hope that you enjoyed it, as we don't know what we're doing. And if you didn't enjoy it, you should tell us what we should do better next time. Or if you have a gaming memory, your first gaming memory, leave it in the comments, or send it to me on Twitter or Instagram at outerhalls, OUTERHALLS.
We're always looking to improve, and we always want to communicate with whoever's watching this.
And follow those social media handles, because that is where I will ask the next question, and you can also be part of the show. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's not good enough. That's not a good enough ending. We have to do something better. There we go. That's it.
No!
Yes. Yes. That's the end right there. One more. Penny. 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 What's your first gaming memory, huh? Huh? Is it watching me play games? Or were you playing games with someone else a long time ago, huh? Where are you going? What do you think you're doing?
Laugh.
I wasn't nervous up until this exact moment.
We're all friends together in all kinds of weather. Hail, hail, the gang of here. We can have a lot of fun.
Too funny.
It was your idea.